Welcome to this week's vlog, and this week you join us on the canal right next to Haigh Country Park in Wigan, Lancashire. We're Paul and Anthony, and together with our dog Dexter we live on a 57-foot narrowboat we've called Morning Star. Come on then, you. Well, I'm at Haigh Hall in Wigan, and the venue behind me is where we had our civil partnership in 2011. Sadly, it's no longer used as a wedding venue, it's actually empty, and Wigan Council are currently trying to get it classed as a listed building and reopened again for weddings and registry office as well. While in Wigan, I've had to buy myself a pie, steak pie. I actually got chatting to two really lovely viewers, Keith and Pat and their dog Blue, who we had a coffee and we had a good long hour chat really, I think. It was nice to see them. Dexter is following me like a Crufts champion because I've got this pie in my hand. Well, today is Friday, I'm editing, and while I'm uploading some videos, I've cleaned and I've stained the worktops, the oak worktops in the galley and also the bathroom. I've took the cushions off that are on the stern because they still get wet even with the cover on, and there's been the odd night where we've left the cover out and they got soaked. So yeah, I've dried those off, I've cleaned them, and they're drying on the roof. They're tied on with a bungee so they're not going to end up in the canal. Yeah, it's a good day. We're still getting loads of solar. Not ran the engine now since Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days. Cracking. Hey, look at this! It's a Queen's birthday. We've got special visitors. Mum, Dad, and my sister Claire. Oh. First time Claire's seen a boat. Just stuffing her face with cake.
And it's St George's Day.
Oh yes, it is. We're off. What a beautiful morning, Anthony.
I know. Didn't want to leave, did we? It's absolutely stunning place.
I could stay here for a couple of weeks. It's been one of my favourite locations, to be honest, and I think because of the hall and our connections to Wigan. Yeah. And really friendly folk around here, aren't they? Very friendly. As we were about to set off, and a guy said, "Morning." Makes you feel good to be alive, and it definitely does on a day like this. So we're passing under the iron bridge that takes you up to Haigh Hall itself, and we're heading to the top of the Wigan Flight. We were being met, it's only a mile, and just about a mile, we're being met by Trevor, aren't we?
Yeah, so he's going to give us a hand down the flight. Oh yeah, otherwise it's going to be a very long day. So it's going to be a long day anyway, because it's 21 locks on the Wigan Flight. But apparently it's easier going down, so we'll see.
Yeah, it is easier going down, definitely. We found that out at Blackburn, didn't we?
We did.
And all the other locks we've done. Oh, Barrington. That was it. Yeah, a lot easier going down than going up. Just love this stone bridge here and the flowers. I'll turn the blossom, I'll turn the camera in.
I'd quite happily stayed there for another week, to be honest. I know, but the way that we can fly, we don't want to get stranded again. I've been stranded for 6 months. in Yorkshire, as beautiful as it was. So Paul's really indecisive for days. He's going, oh, I don't know where we're going, I don't know what to do.
What
Get
did
the
I
maps
say?
out.
Ooh, don't know where we're going.
That's exactly how he's speaking. So it's basically, he just can't make a decision. So he was talking about going to Parbold, which we've been to before because it'd be a great place to trade. But then he's working next weekend.
I've got shows next weekend. Sod's law, isn't it?
And then eventually we need to get to sort of towards so another familiar bit of canal that we've done before, because we're talking about putting it in a marina just for a few days.
Yeah, maybe at Boothstown
while we go for a long weekend, but we're not sure because then somebody else threw something else in the mix last night, didn't they, about going to another marina
to Scaresbury.
Yeah, that's closer to this
which
area.
Makes good sense actually, because then we could go to Gathurst, which we like, Appley Bridge, maybe the Deep Lock, disused lock.
Yeah, it's really peaceful. I mean, you will have seen that before, but and then we are eventually, once we come back off our little break, going to be going on unfamiliar canals.
Well, we've been on the Bridgewater before, but not for long because we veered off up towards Manchester city centre.
So we're thinking about going the other way towards Lymm, which is another place we used to walk, Dexter, wasn't it? Quite frequently, sort of made us want to get canal boats.
Possibly the River Weaver.
Yeah, we need to work out how we're going to do that, because I don't know whether we'd have to go to the Middlewich branch and get onto the Weaver that way.
Hang on, we've only had 6 months to plan this, and we still don't know what we're doing.
That's just us all over.
Yeah.
But then, you know, that's the whole point of this lifestyle. It shouldn't be structured. We should just be able to do what we want. So,
excuse me.
Well, yeah, it might be nice if we can do the boat lift in our own boats, because we've never done that, have we?
No.
And then we think about doing the Macclesfield, which we've done on a hire boat, but not all of it. Possibly go round Stoke.
Yeah.
Because
if it's not too far for you to travel to work and myself,
we shouldn't have to use that as consideration.
No,
it's only 3 days I have to put up with it. So.
A nice me 1 weekend a month at the most.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around. It's beautiful, and we're missing all the birds on, Anthony.
We are.
Why, you're twittering on?
You'll Twitter on.
See you in a minute.
Morning. Right.
Anthony's not seen it. Well, the top of the Wigan Flight was a lot closer than we thought, and Paul, who was a solo boater, asked if he could travel down the flight with us.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I don't say that again. Run a double up. Yeah. That box is still on. I've got that.
Well, we're here at the top of the Wigan Flight, and it's just over 2¼ miles, 21 locks, and it's just over 214 feet from the top lock down to the bottom one, the ascent. We've got Peter from CRT, everybody knows Peter, and Andy, and we've got Trevor, our friend, who's come to help us for the day. I'm travelling down with Paul and his boat. How's this for a fabulous mural on the side of the commercial inn, the old commercial inn? Still being done, the building, so the scaffold on it. All that, Wigan coal, the Pagefield trucks that were made in Wigan. Has included the deer that were spotted around here. Let me move further back. We just loved how Paul's dog was happy trotting along the towpath and following his owner's boat.
He's too busy chatting.
Hello!
He's not lifting paddle.
I keep telling him. You think we're just going to film? Oh, he's not even got the camera now.
Gets distracted from the meeting.
Do you know what, I may be biased, but there's something magical about the Wigan Flight, and I have to admit it has to be one of our favourite flights of locks.
There's no rush, is it? It's like... Let's go.
These are the brand new lock gates at Lock 73.
Have a look. Can you see what they've done? They've obviously made the gate too short, so they've had to nail some pieces here in the middle. These bits here in the middle. Yeah. Oh.
We've helped friends down the Wigan Flight a few years ago, but we've never actually travelled down the flight in our own boat. The lock keepers on the Wigan Flight are primarily there to oversee passage and make sure that the water levels are maintained. It's good to know there's a Facebook group where you can post if you're travelling down the flight and also if you need help. It's amazing how quiet it is down the bow of the boat. I must make a note to sit there more often. Paul's dog on the left wouldn't walk up the steps, and I went over the steps to try and pick him up. He was having none of it, and then eventually he followed me back up.
There was ones are okay, they don't really know, but
There's a fella in Leeds as well. He said it's really hard to operate.
We've only got one more in this flight. Really? Good to know.
that's just why I make somebody get drivers out, isn't it?
Aye.
Well, wow, this is the last lock of the day. Paul's just going out, we're going to follow him, and we're going to try and film the original inscription that's on the bridge as we pass it, so it will be behind us in a minute, hopefully.
This must be a record. We've done this in about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Every lock's been in our favour, and they say it every time, the volunteers are absolutely amazing, so thanks so much Peter and Trev, who came out to help us as well.
Brilliant guys, aren't they?
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Isn't it that gate at all?
I know.
Open 1816.
Blimey.
The day before your birthday. That's not far from your year.
Oh, my short-term memory. I was operating a lock with the windlass, and I thought, oh, where's my windlass gone? I was operating a lock with it. I'm worried.
I think, to be fair, it's because we were talking about pulling up for a coffee, because we're coffee deprived.
Yeah. So what was the date on that bridge, can you remember? 22nd of October
1816.
1816?
Yeah.
Oh wow, let's see that.
Yeah.
But do you remember the last time we moored here? We were with Ted and Judith, and it was still not officially locked down, but it's still social distancing, and rules. Yeah, so it was mad, couldn't shake hands or anything.
Right.
Right. But yeah, can't believe we're here on our own boat all these years later, 2 years later.
Who'd have guessed?
Oh. It's been fab though, isn't it? There's something really nice about the Wigan Flight.
Yeah.
Certainly helped by Peter and Andy.
Oh God, and Trevor. And we just flew down.
I think it'd be quite, I don't know, hard work. Well, it would be hard work on your own, but
it's soul destroying, I reckon, if you were a solo boater.
Yeah. There was a guy there, wasn't there, halfway up?
Oh yeah, bless him. He'd
had problems with his engine.
He thinks he might have got it going now, but he's just absolutely exhausted. He's just said he's not moving until another boat's going up and giving him a hand.
Right, well you better concentrate going into the last lock of the day, Anton.
You better move. I can't see where I'm up to this side.
Loads of room. Well, Peter and Andy had finished the duties and they decided to jump on the boat and take a ride with us, and this was a real bonus for us.
Some have like a thing, a lobbing from.
Coming with you.
Cool, we'll pull up now.
I know what you mean now.
Sorry, that was me being confusing.
Oh, shut up. What's David Attenborough doing in that office building there? Anthony thought it was somebody.
I actually thought there was somebody like upstairs. It follows you as well, look.
Well, this is the service point at Wigan where Andy and Peter joined us on the boat. Unfortunately, the water point wasn't working.
What are you moaning at?
Nothing. Got a cracking job there, Anthony. Are we going to pass me them back to logs?
Wigan Pier is this loading tippler, as they call it.
Yeah.
Came from a collier. You can see it's like two curved bits of railway line. So what you would have, your railway truck comes to the end of it and it tips like that. The flap opens, tips out into your boat. Sadly, that lump on it is a fiberglass statue.
Yeah.
They had a series of these statues, and she, I can't remember whether she was a mill worker or pit braille.
We've seen that one in the past.
And due to vandalism a good few years ago, they filled them up with concrete. In recent week or so, well, recent couple of weeks, she's been vandalised again, and the body was fastened to the wall. It's been broken over. It's in hand, I believe it's in hand.
Yeah.
But obviously that, you can see what we got. You got that race thing.
Right, well according to Peter, we don't know whether to believe him or not. He said this is a speed camera. You can't do more than 4 miles an hour.
The wash goes on to B&Q. So very strict here.
What do you think, viewers? Do we believe him? How long have you been on the Wigan Flight then, Peter?
5.5 hours. 7 years, man and boy. 7 years.
Is it 7 years?
It's 7 years, 2015. Yeah.
Wow. And what about you, Andy?
It'll be about 3 years now.
And what's it
3 years.
What's it like being on the Wigan Flight with Peter?
It's good. You learn a lot. It can take you a long time to get back up to the top sometimes, with all the chatting and all the people he knows.
We've learnt a lot actually from Peter, haven't we, even today?
To be fair, I was saying to Andy before that when do you remember when we were coming through Wigan?
Yeah.
Centre, we met Peter and Andy.
Yeah.
And then, you've not been that long, had you, doing
No, I
it?
don't mean that. No.
I remember saying, so it must be coming up for 3 years. That was 18 months ago, wasn't it?
Right, yeah.
God, that's pre-COVID, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Peter was saying there's some sunken boats here that you can see on Google Earth.
Just over there. Funny mud hoppers. No, you could see them on Saturday.
Could you?
Yeah. Just depends on water level on this pond. There's a special feature for people with little legs, just down here.
Well, this is a special feature that Peter told us about for people with short legs. There's a coping stone missing from the wall on the lock landing. Look at that, it's handy, isn't it?
That is another lock chamber. Yeah.
Well, look at this. Never noticed this last time we were here. Disused lock.
Well, that needs to be one like them upward locks.
Well, somebody's bashed this gate. They must have been going at some speed. Well, Peter's just been telling us as well about these bollards. Look at that. That's where the ropes over time have worn down this. I just love stuff like that. A lot of these heavy boats that were carrying coal and drawn by horses didn't have any brakes, so they wrapped the rope around this. Look at that.
Hell Meadow Lock, ELL in your Nicholsons. On the old maps it's Hell Meadow with a H.
Oh.
So it must have been a grim place around here at one time. And there's also something on one of the old maps. Vitriol Fold is hereabouts. So here be demons.
This bit had you baffled for years.
This bit had me baffled for years. This one here. It's been a loading state. Because the river's immediately behind it. When you look at it, it's a bit obvious when you know what you're looking at. It's been a bridge. There's been a bridge there. There has to have been a bridge. Yeah. And so you've got coal wagons loading from coal that side. Winston they were, Pembrokeshire and all coming down here. So all the other side is the river, so there's nothing visible at the minute. And if you look on the Southport on the railway line over there, you can see where there's archways. And they're no footpaths.
Yeah.
But obviously they haven't built them for pedestrians, they've been built for industrial. And there was one just back here as well. One of the, oh god, what's it called? But they were some of the earliest locomotives. This here, and it goes unnoticed, it's part of the early industrial revolution in a sense with that. Yeah, so somebody commented about that on one of them. Seen it on offer and they've done this and they've done this. No, you can't have it. I've seen it. You can't, it's too long. They're the longboats.
Well, here's the mason's mark on this wall, and just look at this. Peter, I'd never really noticed this before until Peter pointed it out to us. This is where the old boats that have been horse-drawn used to glide or collide into the locks. Look how that wall is worn at the entrance. These concrete blocks that you can see were placed here during the war to stop enemy vehicles in case of invasion from crisscrossing the country roads. Well, we were soon in Parbold, one of our favourite Lancashire villages, and I'll have to admit this has been one of our favourite days of cruising. Anthony set up his bike and cycled back nearly 8 miles to Haigh Hall for his car. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell icon for notifications and keep your comments coming. Have a great week.